Hey everyone, welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. We are once again in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and I would like you to consider this to be a continuation of the test recording that I was doing last time. For those who are not aware, I did have an issue with the first recording that I ever did with this new capture card that I'm using. It in fact caused a blue screening. Blue screening, do people say that? It caused my computer to blue screen basically, and it was really quite unideal. And I think you'll find that it's very difficult to stream when your streaming PC is blue screening. So I'm just wanting to make sure that that was a one-off scenario. I believe it was because I needed to update my OBS software, and I have a feeling that I might have been 3 versions out of date at least. I would say around 3, something like that. So therefore, that could have very well been the problem. So I'm hoping that's what it was, but I'm just recording here to ensure, just once and for all, that was indeed the issue, and as well as that, to make sure that that was indeed just a one-off scenario. So, in terms of what we're going to be doing here, just random hunts basically, but live. Ooh, we've got 40 people online. Now, I did not check to see how many people were online here. I thought that I'd live dangerously and just have a look while live to see how many people were going to be here and suffer the consequences should no one be playing, but it seems that as long as you're on at a good time for the Europeans, there are indeed people to play with. So it is still, you know, there are people who are still awake in Europe at the moment because it is late evening over there. It's probably around, I mean, depending on where you are in Europe, of course, but I'd say it's around midnight over there. So we are going to enter the room and see what's going on here. It's really refreshing to see so many options, to be honest. So I really... Oh, it's Flavio, look out. Still trying to do a Latrion. Again, it's a small world, it's 3 Ultimate, not that many people playing, so you're going to see the same people doing the same thing sometimes. I'm just going to get my chats happening, sorry for the delay if any of you are in the chat. Sometimes I just, you know, I get on my monologues and I don't stop. In terms of Generations Ultimate today, that will be recorded. I'm just doing this recording here to ensure that everything's a-okay with the capture card, because the last thing I want is to be blue screening while I'm hunting with Ethan. So, yeah, again, I'm 99% sure that that was something that is not going to repeat itself, but again, it's good to just make sure. You'll notice that I'm not actually orange at the moment. That's because, I don't know, the lighting conditions allow for me to not have my white balance all orangey, because I don't appear too pale here. I have a sort of natural skin tone here. Sometimes when I don't make the white balance all orangey, I look a bit too pale. In fact, that was what happened with my first attempt at this live stream series that I'm doing here. I think I called it the Monster Hunter live stream series. I changed it to Doomlink's Live Hunts, and I would say that that ended up better in the end. Sorry again, guys, for any of you who are in the chat. Actually, it doesn't look like any of you are in the chat, so I don't feel as bad anymore for taking so long to get the chat up. Anyway, it is, once again, really refreshing to see so many rooms here, so maybe I'll try to get up earlier and play with some of the Europeans. My connection's not going to be the best because, of course, my distance geographically from Europe is quite immense, but it doesn't really matter. I'd rather have people to hunt with than no one to hunt with, so we're going to just refresh this list. 3 out of 3. Why would you have it be so only 3 people could join? Oh, get it, he's under rank 3, so 3, 3, 3, ah! It's half of 6, 6, 6, ah! Okay, now moving on. And we've got Devil. 666, Devil, what else is gonna appear in front of us today? Jesus. Literally, Jesus. Okay, so we could join this room. We've got Food Stuff. I think his name was Food Stuff or Food Stuffs, something like that. I'm gonna get the Twitch chat up as well. Don't know if... Oh, let the hunt begin. Thanks for joining me. Ultimate Bonfire. Ultimate Bonfire. I don't know. I can't remember your name. I only had a quick look at it. But just refreshing all of that. And then I will pop the stream out. As in the Twitch chat. And then pop the stream out. Oh, Gory's that guy who is indeed hacking, and I can't really, well, hacking, again, I'm in a really bad habit of saying that, but if you check this guy's talismans, you will see that he has modded talismans. Very annoying. I don't particularly want to hunt with this guy. But, yeah, why would you name yourself Rugby in-game? That's just terrible. It's like, back in the day, they always had people with soccer in their name. Not necessarily in Monster Hunter, but it was just a common thing to find people in games that had soccer in their name. I don't know why. Like, why would you have a sport in your name? It's very bizarre. I will do one hunt with Gory. I don't really... I say maybe it's Gory. I don't know. Gory? I don't know. But point is that I think we might actually hunt with this guy, at least for once. Well, I'll just watch to see what he's going to do, and he might be fine. Who knows? So I might go... well, what is the World Seer bow? Like, what is that doing? Because we did upgrade that at the end of the previous video by getting those Moran all braces. So World Seer's Bounty, what is that shooting? It's shooting spread level 4 here. I think it might be a load up spread bow. So let's just check to see if that is true. Because I believe Dragon's the best element to go with for a... What is that? Pierce 5. Okay, well we'll go with Pierce then. That's fine. So load Pierce. It's actually not that fine, but as long as... not that fine in the sense that, you know, last time I forgot to bring Dash Juice, but I will bring it this time. Don't you worry about that. Mega Dash Juice, this is what we want. Okay, I'm going to put away some of the stuff that's in my inventory, and I'll go and join up in the quest. You can see that I do have nullberries in my Gunner pouch, but not in my Blade Master pouch, which is a little bit frustrating, because I really did need them when I was hunting Elatrion in the last video. So... yeah, anyway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of thing that really gives me the shits. When you've got a person who is getting ready for the quest, and you don't even have the common decency... yeah, I'm gonna... So Gory said, guys, we left him behind. And look at this. It's like he's being a real dickhead about it. Look at this. Guys, we left him behind. Oh, quite. That seems like sarcasm to me, like it was intentional. Like, why would you do that? Like, someone's clearly getting ready. It's unbelievable. So this is the kind of thing that you would see in this game from time to time. You just... I'm glad that this Gory guy's like sticking up for me. I kicked him from my room yesterday because he was modding, but... how did you manage to leave without me and not notice? I was not even in the fucking room. Like, this is what's extremely confusing to me. Surely, if you were to do that, it would be intentional, not a mistake, because how could anyone be that fucking stupid and actually do that accidentally? But if it were intentional, why would you return? Maybe it's because Gory left, I don't know, but it's very odd. It's probably the weirdest thing I've seen today. Because, well, of course it's the weirdest thing I've seen today, but I meant weirdest thing I've seen in a while, because generally, when someone's being a fucking idiot and does what this food stuff guy just did, they see it through to the end. In other words, they see the quest through to the end, and they don't really apologize, and they don't really care. So, I'm surprised he returned. Again, it brings into question his mental state. Like, where the fuck is he mentally that he could actually accidentally depart without me? I don't know. But anyway, I think it was actually intentional, and because Gory left, he decided to just follow and let me join the quest. Very nice of him, really. Very nice of him. How are the hunter ranks in this room? So Gory is about the same as me. He's 3 hunter ranks higher than me. I'm having to crane my neck because I don't have my my gamepad nearby. The gamepad is a good thing to just use to check at a glance all the people in your room as far as hunter ranks are concerned. So, yeah. I'm glad that they returned for me, at the very least. I could sit here and complain all day, but in the end, they did return for me, so it worked out, sort of. But yeah, this is the first time I'm using the World Seer bow, which is my Pierce Dragon bow by the looks of it. for now. It's not actually my Pierce Dragon Bow. I think it's, in fact, my Spread Dragon Bow, non-load up. But I don't actually have my Pierce Dragon Bow yet because I need to upgrade my Elatrion Bow. So, yeah. I will take the shortcut here. I'm assuming that Pink Raytheon does start in Area 8. So I will do that. Don't know what Gory's doing. Guess he's following me, finally. Can you drink potions on a vine in this game? Well, I say potions. No, you can't. Oh my god, did you see that? That's really funny. That Ludroth really took a shot at me there. Okay, so we're using Mega Dash Juice. Oh, there goes my chair, making loud noises. But yeah, we're going to use Mega Dash Juice here because I'm definitely going to need the stamina for this. Okay. As long as we don't have to worry about stamina, we're going to be pretty good. Now, I might get close range coatings on the go. This does not shoot power coatings, unfortunately, so close range coatings are my additional damage dealer at this stage, but probably not going to get too much of a boost out of it anyway. I don't know much about close range coatings in terms of damage dealing, I really don't. But I have a feeling that even at this close range, I am not getting too much damage out. I just don't trust it. Something about close range coatings that don't make me feel good about myself. But, yeah. Poisoned already? Oh yeah, that's right. We've got Gory, who's using the Lordly Death Cap, which is like a very, very high poison value greatsword, and I'm not sure if I properly demonstrated that. I did show it in the other video, but I was a little bit too distracted by the fact that he had a talisman with 100 points in a skill. In fact, I think he had 100 points in one skill and something like 80 in the other, which was, you know, slightly obvious that he was not a legitimate character, but, you know. I just don't really understand why a person would have modded talismans at this point in the game's lifespan. It's very bizarre to me because there's still plenty of people playing, you know. And there's enough people to play with to get a character built up, so I don't know why you would enjoy having a modded character, but, like, really, it's just... Maybe they enjoy playing the game, but they don't enjoy making characters. Like, they don't enjoy building a character up, but for me, that's most of the enjoyment. I mean, yeah, I do enjoy hunting at G-rank level, but for me, the hunts become meaningless if it's not going to build up my character. It's a little bit different in Try, because in Try, you had a community to interact with, so there was more to do outside of hunting, but here it's definitely all about the hunt and about building your character, and I don't know, I just can't relate to a person who wants to do that with a talisman, or with anything for that matter. Because you've lost the, you can no longer legitimize your time spent in the game. I think that's always what I'm looking for when it comes to playing games. I'm looking to legitimize or rather, I don't know if legitimize is the word that I'm looking for. I'm looking to have some sort of result from all the time spent. I want there to be, I don't even want to say justification of the time spent. I just want to be able to see the fruits of my efforts. And if I'm modding, it's kind of, well, yeah, really pointless. Because you're just hunting for the sake of it. I look at things from a very end game perspective, where whenever I'm playing a Monster Hunter game, it's all about getting the character built up really, really, really high in terms of the amount of armor sets, weapons, monsters hunted, weapon usages, all of that. I don't have small ambitions when it comes to Monster Hunter games and my character being built. Some people have different ambitions, most certainly. Possibly more traditional gamers of the 2000s would aim for things like a completed guild card, like how people would try to get all trophies in an Xbox game, or, sorry, all achievements in an Xbox game, or all trophies in a PlayStation game, but for me, I really never cared about that sort of thing. I'm all about the experience of hunting and building up this character in-game. I don't really need these invisible trophies. So, well, they're technically visible, but they don't really It's not like anyone can see that you've... Actually, people can do that. They can look at your guild card and see that you've got all trophies, but it doesn't really... I don't know. Everyone's got their preference, and that doesn't really interest me. So, yeah. In terms of pierce bow, or any bow for that matter, I do generally prefer to not use load up. It just doesn't do much for me. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting the Elatrion bow, because that's not going to require load up for it to be pierce, basically. And I also don't think this set was upgraded. I upgraded one of my sets before. I believe it was my non-load up spread set. Leave me alone, please. It's refreshing to see... Actually, it's not that refreshing to see that particular Devil Joe hammer, because in Try, the fully upgraded Devil Joe hammer, you had one of two options. Either, I think it was P or G, something like that. I can't remember the other name, but I think it was G, because it was P for purple and G for green. And you had the purple variant and the green variant. I can't remember how they differed, but pretty much everyone went with the purple one. Hello, Yogatina TV. I don't know, I think that's Area 7 that she went to. I'm going to check anyway. I don't trust myself. Yeah, Area 7 is the way to go. But, what was I saying? I was saying something, I don't know. Whenever I look at the chat, I do lose my train of thought. Because I'm very used to having full control over my own train of thought, you know, because I'm very much a Let's Player sort of, or Let's Playing sort of person, but... And then as soon as I introduce something that's completely different to my headspace, it just really throws me out, but I'm sure that's something I'll get used to at some point. I'm just aiming for as many pierces as possible. I'm going for that hit. But yeah, I think I will not use this as my pierce bow next time. I will instead just use this as my spread bow, which I believe was the intention behind this thing. I think my rapid dragon bow is definitely the Stygian bow, so that would leave this undoubtedly my well, that would therefore mean that this is undoubtedly my spread dragon bow, which is cool. I mean, spread level 4 is perfectly fine. It's always better to have a level 5 shot, but sometimes it's just not practical. And I don't think there's a practical bow for me to use that has a level 5 spread shot for dragon element. So, yeah. Might do some mining. Was this gory guy really mining? I hope you weren't, because that's so pointless for you to be modding your character only to go around mining things. Who's to say he doesn't have a box of 99 of everything, you know? Anyway. So, there's nothing here that I really need, but I will be making sure that I don't collect any of these conflagrant sacks, because I do have a single stack of them and I'm trying to keep it that way, as I did explain in the previous video. Although when I did explain it, the screen was black, so no one probably saw it. I've explained it before, but of course in this game I do try to keep certain materials to stacks of 99, single stacks of 99, just for the sake of keeping box slots, because I have many times now run out of space. Anyway. Hey, Milkshake. Welcome back to the live stream. This particular stream that I'm doing here is probably going to go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It just depends on how long it takes for me to get so hungry that I just need to, you know, go and eat. And then I will be continuing with Ethan about an hour or two after me having stopped this stream, so do expect that. Why am I streaming so much today? I don't know, I'm in the mood. Normally I don't, but I'm definitely feeling it this time around. Poison control. Another purple Ludroth. We did this in the previous recording, but that's alright. I will do another purple Ludroth. In terms of what weapon I'll use, I might use something interesting. Maybe I'll go with a hunting horn. Although, what's with the teams... Like, what weapons are the team using? So, Gory's using the Lordly Deathcap. Rugby's using a weapon that is not elementally appropriate. So if I use my Morales Hunting Horn, it's not really going to help, because that's all about element attack up, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get, let's go with Hammer, something a little interesting, at least by my standards. So I'll go and get the, I use the Svarog's Star Smasher, which is the Azure Rathlo, or is that, no, that's the Silver Rathlow's hammer, sorry. Very, very good hammer, by the way, just beautifully balanced. It's, you know, got good sharpness, good raw, and good element. Very nicely done. Rugby actually using some sense, and not readying up so that this dickhead can't fucking depart without me. Thanks, Rugby. I suggested that your name was not a good name, but, you know, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're a nice guy. Looking out for me. I will use a voucher just to make sure that I can get some skills. Don't ready up. This guy might leave without me. I'm going to get Moxie for a Ludroth, you know. I will show my set. Why are these guys so quick to leave? Like, what is this group of people? This is not the community that I remember. But anyway, I've even gone live many times in this game where the community has been clearly shown to be extremely laid back, but these guys are like Generations Ultimate players practically. Maybe they're not people who've played for a long time. They might not be part of the old community. Although maybe they're looking to go to sleep pretty soon. They might be European players. So yeah, it's possible. Either way. Skills for this armor set, we've got Attack Up Medium, Rock Steady, Knockout King, and Weakness Exploit. I really don't have high grade earplugs for many sets in this game, I just use Rock Steady instead. Rock Steady works for... We're hunting Ludroth, why are you running away? But anyway, aside from the guy running away from a purple Ludroth, yeah, Rock Steady works for pretty much every single... Rugby. Don't make me regret thanking you for your assistance before. This thing's gonna get KO'd in no time. But anyway. Yeah, Rocksteady works with all monsters that are not Elders, and also non-Giganox monsters. Giganox has a high-grade Raw that does require high-grade earplugs to block, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. I do still need to make... excuse me. I do still need to make a high-grade earplugs greatsword set, actually. I had an old greatsword set, and I've replaced it with a sharpness +1 greatsword set with Rocksteady. Both of those had Rocksteady, but I deleted one of them as I was making my bow sets. And I am indeed going to make another greatsword set at some point, but with high-grade earplugs. I have a feeling that I might have tried to do that before, but high-grade earplugs might not be a good skill for getting other greatsword skills like focus and critical draw and all of that. So, we'll find out. Will it be a sharpness +1 set? Only if that's manageable. It really does depend on what armor sets exist, or rather, what armor pieces exist out there, because when you're using, or rather when you're making a mixed set, it's very dependent on what can be made in the game. Okay. This Ludroth's being a little uncooperative. Now he's coming after me. He's trying to apologize. He's like, okay, I'll come. Sorry. And then he does that. Arsehole. Playing some Demon Souls, that's good to hear. I need to do some farming off camera in Demon Souls before I record next time, which means, inevitably, that it will be a while until I next record in Demon Souls, because I always procrastinate when it comes to farming off camera. But as well as that, I don't want to subject you guys to it, so... I mean, how boring is that if in every single build in Demon Souls, I just farm things for, you know, an hour or two? It would make it, in my opinion, a very boring live stream series. So I try to do that stuff off camera these days. But having said that, it's very difficult to find the drive to do that, you know. I'm a bit too instant gratification with that game these days, because it is the sort of game that I can go on to and just play and not have to worry too much about what I'm doing. It's very much like Monster Hunter. I can just come onto my previously built up characters in Monster Hunter and just record with them and not have an issue. That's one of the reasons why I very much enjoy recording Monster Hunter, because I don't have to think too much about it. Same with Demon Souls, but it sort of changes when I need to farm things offline, you know. Well, I say offline, not that I'm playing online in Demon Souls, but what I mean is, like, when I'm not live. Off camera is the word that I'm looking for. Oh, leave me alone, sir. I will do a super pound at the expense of possibly one of my teammates. Well, it didn't end up making contact with the fucking monster anyway, so let's do our golf swing, shall we? Miss that, and send food stuff in the air. I would apologise, but I really don't care. I would actually say sorry for doing that, but that guy's a fucking idiot. We've established that he's a fucking idiot, but anyway. I will collect this shiny. Hopefully I don't end up collecting the rocks instead, because I do believe that that is a gathering point. Yes, it is, for rocks, specifically. Things like stones, wet stones, are what you gather from there. And you do have separate mining points just over here. Not that I really need to mention that. What I mean is that sometimes you can mine whetstones at certain nodes. But, anyway. The Ludroth is having a bad day. It's fallen over. Really? We're going to bomb this thing? Alright. Not a fan of bombs on traps for fairly obvious reasons. I'll let you do that. Really? You're doing a capture? In fact, I'm actually astounded that it's not fucking capturable. I guess that shows that I really have not been consistent with my hits. I'm staying away from the head because I don't want to get fucked up by rugby. That should be a successful capture, right? Fucking tripping over my words. But yeah, you can see that any place with water really does cause the frame rate to dip a little bit. Particularly as I move my camera here, you'll see that it's a little bit jumpy. Kind of unfortunate. But yeah, Morales is really good in this game just in general because you've got great slots. You've got Rocksteady, which is a really... I must have slider. No. How does that work? Well, whatever. Hey, Bit Phoenix, welcome. But yeah, Morales I have found is just a staple when it comes to mixed sets in this game, because it's probably one of the best armor pieces for Rocksteady in mixed sets, and as such, it gets a lot of use in mixed sets, at least my mixed sets, because I do use Rocksteady quite a lot. It's a single skill high-grade earplugs, effectively, because it works for so many monsters. But they definitely downgraded Rocksteady for 4th gen, and I don't believe they brought Rocksteady back in Generations and Generations Ultimate. So I believe its last game that it appeared in was for Ultimate. And it was a neutered version of it. It was, I can't remember what monsters it worked with, but nowhere near the number that it worked with in this game, that's for sure. It was kind of unfortunate, but I understood why they did that, because it really was a replacement almost for high-grade earplugs. But the problem is, if it's not a replacement for high-grade earplugs, it has no place, in my opinion. So it's kind of an awkward situation. You either have it or you don't, and I think they realized that that's the situation they were faced with when they were making Generations. They realized, well, there's no reason to bring back Rocksteady, because if it's not effectively a replacement for high-grade earplugs, people won't use it, because it is true, it's one or the other. You want to be able to resist roars, and if Rocksteady just doesn't do the job, you're not going to waste the time getting the skill. So, yeah, Capcom definitely worked that one out. So, what quest have we got next? I don't know if you guys can hear my PC sounds. I hope you can't, but I think you can. So I'm going. The reason why is because can you please? They don't like to let me go into my advanced audio options when I'm live, annoyingly. So hopefully you guys aren't hearing those sounds, but I'm pretty sure that you are, because I do have that set up from... Oh, can you fucking not? What is my PC doing? Oh, I know what's going on. One of the keys on my wireless keyboard was being held down and it was causing problems. Kurapeko. What do we want to go with elementally for that? I don't know. I'm just closing Discord, and also... Hi, Lord Zor. Me and you are streaming the same. Oh, That's hilarious. So, I mean, you guys couldn't really see that, but Rugby was saying me and you were streaming the same. Yeah, why not? All the more pressure to ensure that the hunts are exciting. You've got 2 people streaming them, Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, if you're listening, Rugby, nice to meet you. Okay, so what is this? Is water an appropriate element, or would it be ice? I'm actually going to check. You can tell that I'm an element whore because I'm actually desperate to use the correct element for a fucking Kurapeka. But anyway, let's go and check what that is. Kurapeko X, ice is indeed superior, so forget water. Ice is the element we want to go with. So, I won't go hammer again. In fact, I probably should go with something that's going to work for a smaller monster with a group of 4, because of course 4 people crowding around a small monster can be a problem. So I'm going to be the dickhead today by using longsword, and we are going to go with ice, of course, if I've got an ice longsword, which I believe I do. Yes, I do. Glacial Diva. Oh, what a diva. Mischievous diva. But anyway. Oh no, that's dangerous. Everyone readying up for the quest so that food stuff can leave me behind again. I think the reason why, yeah, that's the reason why these guys are so quickly, or rather so quick to ready up. It's because they don't have anything else that they're using. Me, I'm going and finding a different set and weapon each time. Not just for you guys so that it's kept interesting, but also because that's what I do just whenever I play, because I like to keep things interesting for myself, first and foremost. So yeah. Wow. I'm going to be fucking up Rugby a little bit with this longsword. I apologize. Hey Thrasher, welcome to the live stream. So, we've got Playing with Fire with the Kurapeko. I do like an excuse to hunt a Kurapeko. He's one of those monsters that just gets left behind, I think. He's a very nice design, but when it comes to hunting in the high levels of endgame in 3rd generation, he does indeed get left behind. But really, that's only the case in fact, it is a little bit the case in Portable 3rd as well, but it wasn't really the way it was in Tri, because there were so few monsters to hunt that Kurapeko did get a bit of attention. I'm going to keep away from that head, because I was talking about how I was going to fuck up Rugby. At this stage, he's going to be fucking me to hell if I go near that head, so let's just stick with a longsword, shall we? Food stuff, are you really doing combo greatsword? Okay, he's charging again, he's being sensible. Alright. Now there is no spirit slash out of a fade slash. That animation does not exist. That was brought in for Ultimate. Okay. Oh, who's come? Is it Devil Joe? Yeah, it's Devil Joe. Hey, Joe. Sorry, I'm not really elementally effective with you at the moment, but maybe I can still fight you if we choose to do that. You've gone and placed a shock trap at a rather unideal time. Unless you want to fight it. Nah, Gory is not interested in that. I do not have dung, by the way. So this Devil Joe's is going to have to, yeah, continue existing. The benefit there, and you were able to see it, there was a blood splatter as Devil Joe bit the Kurapeko. That's a visual guarantee, pretty much, that Devil Joe is doing damage to Kurapeko. So let's just consider him a rather aggressive 5th hunter, effectively. I'm going to try and kill this thing as soon as possible. I'm doing a combo on the head, and I'm not really paying attention to Devil Joe, but maybe I should be doing that. He's not a team player, as you can tell. He's a little bit upset as well. But anyway. We've got a poisoned Kurapeko as well. I don't think Kurapeko is going to last too long. Like, we've got pretty good damage output for the team. So, I don't think we're going to be at risk of having this Devil Joe cause problems. As in, real problems. To the extent where failure is on the cards. I don't think so. Oh, that was a good blast on the face. I understand why he's doing combo greatsword now. He's using a slime weapon. So he's trying to get those slime procs. I understand that. in the sense that, of course, if you're using a slime weapon, you would go combo greatsword, but I would avoid getting a slime greatsword so that I didn't have to combo greatsword, if you understand. So, like, I'm sure with slime being as broken as it is in this game, that would still balance out. Like, even though he's doing combo greatsword and doing fuck all, I thought we were fighting the Devil Joe for a moment. I really forgot who we were fighting because I was busy talking. But, I think I've got defense down as well, Jesus. So, yeah, I'm sure that even though he's losing so much damage on his regular attacks, he's probably making up for it with the blast damage, which shouldn't be the case realistically, but again, slime is really broken. So, I don't have double defense down or anything. Wait, what is that? Is that elemental defense down? I think that might be elemental defense down. That's really terrible if so. I knew that was coming after me, and this is turning into a bit of a fuckfest. Even that tail attack managed to hit the Kurapeko. It seems that anything that can harm a hunter can harm a monster. So that little movement of the tail there did deal damage to the Kurapeko because you could see the blood splatter there. Oh my god, please let me do a combo. Devil Joe. I'm watching you, man. Oh my god, this is actually a mess. That's what happens when you don't have dung, as you can clearly see. As well as that, I don't have great defense with this armor set. This is kind of like high-tier gunner defense that I have with this set. It's 400, well, not even high-tier, like regular-tier gunner defense on this Blade Master set. The reason why is because I'm using two high-rank pieces and a gunner helm. So, big surprise that it's gunner defense. But, this is my elemental set, you know. Where have you gone, Kurapeko? I will Psycho Serum, because I would like to kill this thing. Food stuff is going in the right direction, and we will have to drink some hot drinks as we continue in here. But yeah, very frustrating with that Devil Joe, and he will follow if we don't kill this thing fast enough. I'll go and sharpen up to white. I believe that's what it goes to. What have we got here? Yep, we've got a decent amount of white with this weapon. Oh, you need to keep away. We do have a exhausted Kurapeko, but I don't feel that it's necessary to trap a Kurapeko, like, let's be honest. We're about to beat on this thing hardcore. Alright. Get my combo out finally. I've been stuck on the white charge level for this whole time, because I was getting fucked up by Devil Joe quite a little bit. Good hunt. But yeah, I do realise that I'm usually covering the chat. In fact, I'm always covering the chat. But I find that this is the best place to be on the screen. So, Rugby's asking if we can do Azure Rathalos next. I don't mind. Food Stuff seems to be quite focused on doing his own quests at the moment, and departing without me, so... Yeah, I'm doing quite well, Pablo. Thanks for joining the stream. We will be... Ethan and I are going to be streaming later on today, so about 3 hours from now. 4 hours from now, maybe. But I'd say likely 3 hours from now. I'll be streaming this for another, maybe, hour and 20 minutes or something like that. So, yeah. If you'll still be hanging around, I'd recommend you tune in a little bit later as well. We'll be playing Generations Ultimate. And that will be in Hunting with Purpose. So, I do not have too many Kurapeko pieces, so therefore I don't have to worry about keeping single stacks of 99, because I'm far away from even getting to 99 of any material with Kurapeko. Alrighty. So I'm just going to assume that we're going to hunt Azure Rathalos now, so I might get ready for that. I don't think Food Stuff is that much of a dickhead that he's going to refuse an Azure Rathalos hunt. I think anyone at this stage in the game can benefit from some Azure Rathalos pieces. Food Stuff is only Hunter Rank 6. Alrighty. I didn't see what he posted. I'm just going to set up for an Azure Rathalos because I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. I'm just guessing that he's going to post the Azure. giving him the benefit of the doubt in the sense that I'm going to guess that he's not a dickhead, but, you know. Now, let's go with... Allergun. Oh, I got really confused. I thought for a second that I had an Elatrion gun, right? And I'm like, how's this an Allergun? And then I realized it's because I'm using the Elatrion armor set. Oh, real smart, Doomlink. Yes, I will bring this set. I'm not changing the gun because I do want to shoot lightning. It's Thunder, Doomlink, not lightning. You're wrong. It's lightning in this game. But yeah, this is an interesting rapid gun because it actually does have some... Okay, he's low rank. Wait, low rank? Because Rugby only said Azure, he didn't specify the... whatever you call it, the rank of it. I don't know why he's posting a low rank one. Oh no, that's a high rank one. Didn't he want G? Because, yeah. If we're hunting a G rank level and you don't specify the rank, I think it would be sensible to assume that he means that it's going to be G. I don't know. But regardless. Hey, Ethan. Yeah, why would Foodstuff post the fucking hiring quest? That's so bizarre. I'm telling you, this Foodstuff guy, it probably has some sort of mental deficiency. Because if we're hunting at G rank level and Rugby's like, can we do Azure? Why would you post the high rank quest? It's just so bizarre. I don't understand it. And why isn't Rugby posting it himself? These people are very fucking curious. But anyway, I don't know. Sometimes these people are very difficult to understand. But regardless, I will put away this Mega Dash Juice. Don't really need it right now. I'll bring Thunder Shots and combinations for Thunder Shots, and that should be enough for this hunt. Because when you are going rapid fire with an element, generally, unless the team's kind of shit, you can have the shot type last you for most, if not all of the hunt. So we do use flash bugs for combinations for thunder shots, which is kind of bizarre because you think, oh, you use thunder bugs. But the reason why is because it's easier to get flash bugs than thunder bugs. So in terms of value, the thunder bugs are a bit too high in value to justify. Hold on, let me make sure I've got some normal shots. Yeah, I've got normal shots, all good. But yeah, this is a bit too high of a value to justify just combining them for thunder shots, so they made it flash bugs instead. And I understand that. Azure attack. And they probably assume that you need your thunder bugs for shock traps anyway, so it's nice of them to not make you use fucking thunder bugs for those shots. Can't quite remember what the shots were in the past, actually. Or rather, the shot combination was in the past for thunder. It may very well have been thunder bugs because it was, or maybe it was. Oh Jesus! I was trying to reload my gun and I ended up at this fucking gathering zone. That was not what I wanted, and you could see that it was delayed in showing me that it was a gathering point. But anyway, you used Genprey Fangs for shock traps in the old generations, so maybe it was Genprey Fangs for thunder shots. If not, then definitely thunderbugs. What I'm saying basically is that thunderbugs were not really used. I mean, I don't even know if thunderbugs were in those games, to be honest. Okay, so it's deviation to the left. I'll keep that in mind. So, indeed, dragon is better elementally for this guy, but I'm not going to get my dragon gun for this. It's a bit overkill. We've got a group of 4 on a single monster. I don't need to be shooting dragon ammunition. But yeah, because this gun is so freaking good, I really don't care about the deviation. Like, the gun is crazy. All the nether weapons are really good. Look at that. So you got 387 inflated raw on a light bowgun with 15% affinity, and it shoots really well as well. Like, the stuff it shoots is good. So, nice gun. And of course the heavy bowgun is the pellet gun of the game. Or the ideal pellet gun of the game at the very least. Now keep in mind that critical element did not exist as a skill until 4th gen. So I can't, for example, get critical element with this armor set. Instead, I'm using peak performance to get a little bit of extra damage out. Works very nicely. Peak performance is best with gunner sets. I certainly don't understand why anyone would go peak performance with a Blade Master set, because the reality is the monster is constantly turning and dealing micro damage to you. And if you are anything less than max health, peak performance will not work for you. So why would you ever use peak performance for a Blade Master set? I've seen it. I've definitely seen it, and I can assure you they're not getting the fucking full usage of that. So I really have nothing more to say. I'll aim for the head here. I'm just sort of used to aiming for the wings, but of course this is just an Azure, this is not a silver variant. Oh, that was a good flinch. It's quite funny. Damn. Sort of over-aiming my deviation there. No. He thought he was coming after me, then he changed his mind. Well, he did decide to come after me as I said that, but I flinched him out of it, fortunately. As you can see, we're probably about halfway through the hunt, and I've still got 30 thunder shots, which is a good thing about rapid firing. Again, it's you keep the ammunition for a while, because it takes a while to shoot it all, you know. So it lasts for a lot of the hunt. It's one of the biggest things that I enjoy about rapid firing an element, or rapid firing anything for that matter. Again, just naturally aiming for the wings. I need to try and stop doing that. I should be aiming for the head for maximum elemental damage. But, yeah, that was a heavy hit that I just took there. And I will be healing up to full, so it'll be 2 mega potions and a potion. Should I bring herbs for that sort of thing? Oh, food stuff just died. Well, sorry, I was too busy healing myself. Well, not healing myself, but yes, I was healing myself, and isn't that funny? But I don't have... what the hell was that? I didn't even see what flinched him there. But anyway, I don't have life powders here, so I wasn't going to be able to help him anyway. I mean, I could have tried attacking the monster to flinch the thing, but you know. That's a little bit too much to ask now, isn't it? Get away from me, please. Oof. Do I have evade extender with this thing? Yes, I do. That's good to know. I really have no excuse to get hit then, do I? Light bow gunning with evade extender. The word there is overkill. In terms of being able to evade the monster, because, you know, having that extra mobility with the light bow gun already, like just being able to move at this pace is really good for positioning. And also, like, positioning in terms of shooting, and also in terms of evading. But having evade extender is even crazier. Alright, looks like he's heading over this way. I'm surprised we even reached the 5-minute mark for this monster. It's kind of unbelievable. Not necessarily talking down the team, but yeah, what the fuck. This thing should be dead. At least in my opinion. Alright, let's aim for the head. There we go, getting some good flinches there. Maybe half the problem is that I wasn't aiming for the head. I will accept that as a possible reason as to why this thing's not dead. Oh, someone sponged a hit there. Oh, get away from me. Thank God for evade extender, right? Come on, air flinch. King of my ass. That's the old term. It's a reference to... oh, my king of my ass team. It's a reference to Hunting with Friends, a series that I did a little while back. Which I do still plan to continue, but... and speaking of ass, I'm really shooting this guy in the anus right now. Even with deviation, which means I'm really aiming for it. But yeah, what I'm referring to was... I was hunting a Rathalos in Portable Third, and I was shooting him with Rapid Normal. And I said, King of the Sky is more like King of my ass, and I shot him out of the sky. It was quite a funny moment. So we referred to any time that I flinch the monster out of the sky as being a king of my ass. And by shot him out of the sky before, in that scene that I'm referring to, I actually killed him while doing that. He was trying to fly away and I killed him midair. It was a good moment. Oh dear. Seriously, why is this thing still alive? Can I just ask the team what's going on here? This is a single monster. No, I don't think you were there for that, Ethan. You didn't really hunt with us too much in Portable Third. In fact, you didn't hunt with us at all in Portable Third. You happened to be there one time drunk, but outside of that, the only appearances you had in hunting with friends was in World. I think you might have been in the first one. Yeah, you were in the first hunting with friends, when we were hunting in World. I remember we were doing a Val Hazak with Chaos, and some other people as well, I think. But, like, Rook was there. I think Kelsey was there, if you remember her. Kelsey is mine. Inside jokes, sorry. But, it's a quote from a person that we didn't quite appreciate in that community. Are we going for a capture at this stage? I think we are. At this late stage? It is at this late stage, actually. Because, alright, throw your tranks. That was a... I think Rugby only had one trank on him as well. Oh, look at this slow reload. And look at that high recoil. Not happening, man. Let's go with some normal shots. Oh no, I do have combinations, but I do think this thing's almost fucking dead, so I really don't know about... Yeah, I'm not going to waste my Thunderbugs. Or my Flashbugs, sorry. But yeah, that is a captured monster for sure. I feel like something just appeared on my PC, like a pop-up, and then it disappeared. What makes me like heavy bowgun is the ability of shooting while crouching, but the mobility of light bowgun is quite reliable. Yeah, I do generally like to go mobile heavy bowgun, in other words, evade extender. I think it's really enjoyable to have that damage output, but also be able to move properly. But crouch firing heavy bowgun is something that I'm appreciating more these days, and I need to get into it properly. I haven't got a proper set for it in this game, but crouch firing with a shield was especially good in these games because you were able to shield more damage with the thing. I remember I got a heavy element bowgun in Generations Ultimate, stuck a shield on it. It was the Elatrion heavy bowgun, in fact, and I went to shield a bunch of damage and I was getting fucked over. And I actually died first time I tried it, because I was expecting to be able to shield more damage, but anyway. No, Twitch is not more active. I've got one person talking in Twitch, Ethan. Alright, so as you can see, I've got all these at 99, so we're gonna not take that stuff. I will take, or will I take? Will I take? Alright, sell all that. What have we got here? Hey, that's a decent talisman for this game. Status +6, eating +3. I'll take it. Not that I'm ever going to use it, but you know. May as well. It's not that lively of a chat. Anyway. So again, I'm going to be continuing for about another hour from now. And then I will deal with food. And then a little bit longer after that, or not long after that actually, I'll be going live with Ethan in Generations Ultimate. And by the way, do you know what we need to do in Generations Ultimate, Ethan? This is, okay, seeing as though you're listening, I'm going to remind you now. Work out what gun lances you want to make in the game. Just make a decision on that and we'll work towards that when we're playing. If you don't want to do that and want to do something else, then just work that out. And it just saves us from being live and we need to work out what we're doing, you know. But anyway. Netherfloction. I do love that name. Floction. It could be Flosion. Or it could even be Flosian, or something like that. But I read that as Floction. Maybe it's Flosion. I think it's Flosion, actually. They've got a j sound with that X, I think. Or it could literally be Floxian. I read it as Floction. I've always read it as Floction, personally. But I think Flosion is a little cooler. You know, Flosion is explosion. I think it's Flosion, Nether Flosion. Makes sense to me. Alright, what's Flosion? Flosion, what's Flosion? What's Foodstuff postings? Because they both start with F. I'm calling the guy Flosion now. Rugby needs the mantle. It's better to do silver, but... Like, why are you asking to do Azure Rathlos if you need a mantle? It's better to do silver Rathlos. Anyway. Foodstuff is having some difficulty choosing. Okay. What have we got? Avenge the Fallen Hunter. Here we go. I'm liking this quest selection. I'm hunting monsters I don't often fight. Like, for example, Kurapeko. I was actually hunting Baroth with Ethan and his brother in Portable Third 2 days ago. But as far as hunting at Baroth on camera, have not done that recently. Oh yeah, Awaken GS. I really need to get into Awaken weapons in this game. I really haven't been doing that. But let's go use it now. This is a fire weapon. This is the only Awaken greatsword I have, actually. So whenever I try to remember to use this set, because it's fun. I enjoy Awaken weapons. It gives you an opportunity to use weapons you normally wouldn't use. I'm going to grind on Azure. Peace, dude, says Rugby. Well, see you, Rugby. I feel sorry for your stream viewers that they're going to have to watch you grind, but whatever. Oh, Ultra Lucky Cat on a Baroth, yeah. Awesome. But yeah, I will try to read what's being typed in-game, because I do realise that I am blocking the chat. But it's probably a little bit confusing when I'm reading chats. I'm reading both Twitch, YouTube, and in-game chat. So... yeah, hopefully you guys can sort of work out what I'm referring to at whatever given time. So this is the full laggy set. I remember using the same thing, obviously not the G-rank version, the high-rank version, back in Try for Awaken. And it was pretty damn good. And it's still good here. Let's get going. So Greatsword with a Baroth is a little bit painful. A little bit. Which is why I'm going to be trapping. Because yeah... I'm not a fan of greatswording Baroth, actually, but I decided to do it because I need to, I guess, what's the word? Face my fears. Must expose myself as closely as possible to that which keeps me up at night, which is greatswording Baroth. Actually, it's not the worst thing, but... So as you can see, Rocksteady does block that roar. Blocks everything except Elders and... Giganox, I believe. So I much prefer the charge in this game as compared to Try, because I did try it out, and I get it, try it out, back when I was recording the first part of my Try livestream, which I will be doing tomorrow, by the way. I do plan to do the next recording of that tomorrow. But, yeah. It was more like a 2-level charge than a 3-level charge. It was really bizarre. Maybe that's just how it is in the early game. I don't know. Maybe super low level. No, see, there's no reason, Gory, for you to put yourself in harm's way to kick me out of that. I understand that it's you do it with good intentions, but it's not necessary, because if you walk on the spot, you break out of it so quickly anyway. So in the end, it's better for the team if you just don't, you know. Just keep fighting the monster. We don't need the loss of 2 people's DPS, just because I got some mud blight. But, you know, everyone's got their way to play the game, I suppose, but maybe I'm just a little bit too logical about it. I was hoping for maybe a flinch to stop him from hitting me with that charge, but it didn't really work out that way, unfortunately. Oh, that was not the best time for a charge on my part. I'll position myself here because he's going to end up there. Which is a weird way to explain that. But again, you're able to see what's on screen. I mean, unless you're going audio only like Ethan. Like Ethan? I shouldn't need to explain everything that's on the screen. There is a shiny on the ground. Fertile Mud, I believe, is the typical pickup you get here. But it seems Wyvern Tears are also a possible drop. There we go. So it's always good to see the front claws break early on, because it means that people are aiming for the damage point. I hate it when he does this. He just runs around in a fucking circle. Like, yeah, we're not having trouble following you, man. Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna say anything. I would just prefer it if he fought the fucking monster, you know? Like, it's not necessary. What happened there? Did he just animation cancel into a fucking shield with that greatsword? Probably a connection issue, really. Either that or he's got the hacks on, which is definitely possible given his talisman, but anyway. I think that dealt damage to the tail. But yeah, things like an Awakened Greatsword set with this particular armor set is made possible because there is a skill like Rocksteady, which is a single level skill to resist monster roars, as opposed to a 2-level skill like high grade earplugs. I would not be able to get high grade earplugs and have this be a functional set of this kind. Please don't! Stop! Notice how I broke out of it before you could even kick me, dickhead? Try to watch and learn. I'm going to type it to him. I will type to him, not aggressively. I'm just going to tell him that it's not necessary. I mean, maybe it's necessary for people who don't know how to break out of it quickly, but I do know, so it just bothers me. We don't need the loss of 2 people's DPS when 1 person's been hit by Mudblight. That's the issue with Mudblight. It's the fact that someone on the team literally can't hunt the monster. But what if you've got 2 people, like you've gone ahead and made it 10 times more effective as a DPS loss attack, or a DPS losing attack, by going and kicking people out of it, instead of hunting the monster. I mean, some would say, it's just a Barroth Doomlink, but this, I don't know, it bothers me. It's not just in this hunt, it's overall. I would love it if people could learn. I'm just going to say it politely. I just said you don't need to kick me out of Mudblight, but thanks. He's probably even going to take that the wrong way, but you know. He said understood. Well, that's nice of him. Understood, thanks, sorry, okay. That's what happens when people use shouts and they don't select the right ones, but you know. I just say that because he really does need to aim for DPS. And to be honest, while I do say it's just a Barroth, Doom Rage, yeah. Well, you should have been here for the last frickin' recording, Pablo. I was raging. Well, Ethan, I was just talking about like when you were hunting with like oftentimes you play Rocket League while listening to me. That's why I assumed you might have been doing that this time as well. Look at it this way, Doom. He's a man of the people. If you're going down, he's going down with you. Yeah, clearly. But what I was about to say was that while I do say it's just a Barroth, we all know that Barroth is pretty beefy in terms of health. He's always been designed to last a long time. Brute Wyverns are like that in general, but especially Barroth at this level. I mean, he's got a lot of health considering what level of monster he is relative to his brethren. In other words, you've got monsters like Kurapeko and Raytheon. This guy is pretty beefy when you compare him to those guys. So really, I do think he should be the kind of monster that you be as effective as possible while hunting. But, you know, of course I don't have a problem with you being audio only, Ethan. It doesn't concern me at all, I was just joking. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, well. Can you fuck off, Renopolis? Seriously. I've always said, Renopolis, but it could be Renoplos. I don't know. I do like Renoplos. And to be honest, it's not... The inflections are not so different. Like, you don't need drastically different inflections to achieve those two pronunciations, but yeah, I don't know. So sharpness with this weapon is pretty good. Like with a greatsword, if you're using the greatsword correctly anyway, you really don't need more than this amount of sharpness for any particular sharpness level. So that's a lot of white for a greatsword is what I'm trying to say. And look at that fucking element, 540. It's very nice. And the damage of this weapon's decent as well, because keep in mind, it's an awakened weapon, so how it generally works is that awakened weapons are treated ordinarily as raw weapons, so they will usually have pretty good raw damage. But when you awaken the weapon, you're going to get a bonus added to that already decent raw damage. It's usually how it is. So yeah, I do very much enjoy awakened weapons. And I wish they didn't sort of dispose of them. I think the reason why they disposed of them was because, excuse me, they just worked out that people didn't do it much. But for me, it's a great endgame thing. I haven't really engaged in the awakened endgame so much. The last time was in Try, really. But I definitely would like to do it here. That's a great talisman, by the way. Sheathing 3, Expert 7. For a legend talisman, pretty alright. Yeah, the Renaplos and Bullfangos are fucking terrible. Just really nasty. I actually don't know which one pisses me off more. The one that pisses me off the most is the one that I'm having to deal with at the time. I find them to be equally annoying when I'm having to deal with their shit. But when I do deal with Bullfangos, I do get especially frustrated, I think. A little bit more so than I would with Renaplos. But it's close to being equal levels of frustration. It really is. Oh, the rolling bugs, the Conchu. I don't mind the Conchu, I find them to be kind of cute. I don't know, there's something about them, it's like they have little personalities the way they move. And when you see them, they almost wave at you with their bodies. It's kind of funny, I enjoy it. But, what are we hunting again? It was get your brain in Doomlink. Get your brain in Doomlink. Get your brain in gear, Doomlink. How about that for an example of my brain completely wandering somewhere else? Nibble Snuff. Ice. What are we going to use? Gun Lance. And how about that? We've got an Ice Gun Lance ready to use straight away. So this is actually a pretty good Gun Lance set. I'm really happy with it. This particular one is weapon dependent. Well, not weapon dependent. It's just I'm using this triple slot to greater effect. Or rather, I'm using the triple slot to make the armor set better. And it's definitely not reliant on this. I believe that it will normally have attack up small. So let's pretend attack up medium isn't usually something you get with this set. It's still a great fucking set for this game. You've got Guard +2, Artillery Expert, Attack Up Small, Mind's Eye, Biomaster. Even for a game like Generations Ultimate, that's a pretty decent set. And with Attack Up Medium, it's even better. But you have to understand that this is not Generations Ultimate. You do not get as many skills in this game. But at least normally, it's hard to get crazy good talismans in this game because you don't have quests like the Brachydios farm. So... So who's joined? Chuppy is HR1. Well, that's unfortunate. I really feel sorry for a person who's coming into this game at Hunter Rank 1. There are not many people to hunt with. If you're lucky enough to get a person to carry you, I guess, you'll be alright, but still, it's kind of rough. I hope I'm not too pale at the moment. I think it's alright, yeah, it's fine. I just don't know if the lighting's changing and therefore causing a shift in the white balance, but it seems to be fine, so we'll just keep it this way. I'm really, since that time I was playing and, well, recording Monster Hunter actually, and I looked really, really pale. That was, again, the first recording that I did for what would later become Doomlink's Live Hunts. It was at that time called the Monster Hunter livestream series. But, yeah, I looked really pale and I was really pissed because, you know, it's one of those things. And that was, I guess, one of the early times in my streaming experience where I realized, like, if I don't monitor how something looks, while streaming, it's going to look like shit for the entire stream, and I'm going to have an entire recording of something that doesn't look good, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's very frustrating. Alright, Nibble Snuff. Let's head over this way. Altomar, why is it that the only thing you do outside of speaking Spanish to me is post the eyes emote? I don't understand. But anyway. Like, I don't understand you. So, you speak Spanish to me and you look at me, okay. It's just kind of low-level communication, that's my only concern. But anyway. Now, I think Nibble Snuff starts up here. In the area where I believe Gory is now. If he's not there, then he's getting there. Yeah, he's there. Look at that big blue body. So again, this was intended to be another test recording, sort of. And it seems to be going very well. So I'm glad. Mind's Eye. Isn't that refreshing? I usually just use Mind's Eye on lances, but for gun lance, I'm not going to complain. I love Mind's Eye. It's a great skill. So go get the blast combo on the face. Not that that really matters, it's true damage, but still. Feels better to hit a weak point, even if it's true damage, you know. Oh, get ready to evade. Back hop, or not. Just keep walking, just keep walking. Ah! No! I don't have guard boost on this set. I only have guard +2. Generally, guard +2 is better. No, sorry, generally guard boost is better. But, yeah. I definitely don't have guard boost. Oh! Saw that coming behind me. Welcome back, Phoenix. Sorry, this is my first time online, says Chuppy, the Hunter Rank 1. Well, I don't want to say that, he might take it wrong. I was just going to say good luck leveling up, my friend, but, you know, maybe that's kind of unnecessary. So I think we can still get a successful explosion off here with a small barrel bomb, yeah. Is he going to... No. I think we're both aiming for the... Oh, fuck you, dickhead! Oh, never mind. For a second I thought food stuff had actually flinched me out of that. Which I don't even think is possible unless you do a really crazy attack like an upswing or a hammer pound, but I think I was instead flinched out of it by Nibble Snuff pushing me away. But anyway. Uh-oh. Managed to shield that. I do need to do a Wyvern Fire as well. Try and find the timing to do that. I think he's leaving. Or no. Alright, that's probably a good time to do it. Get it on the claws if I can. Think that worked? I think Gory ended up shielding my my Wyvern Fire there. Oh, let's go for the fish. Oh, we're both doing it. Well, oh, never mind. I keep on getting hit by fucking food stuff with this stupid, swinging, wide-hitting combo greatsword, this dick face. So he did flinch me out of it last time. It was just going to fail anyway. But he did flinch me out of it, so if I were not going to fail, that would have been extremely fucking annoying. I didn't know that I was going to be getting flinched out of that. It just never really happens, but this guy with his swinging greatsword, Jesus. Anyway. Now, I believe I only have blue sharpness with this. Yeah, because this is a Lagombi weapon, so the sharpness level is kind of low. How I accept the same mission? Well, okay, this Chuppy guy needs some assistance for sure. We've departed on the quest without you because you're too low of a hunter rank to join. I would like to help him out a little bit. He's obviously a complete beginner at the worst time in the game's lifespan to be a complete beginner because there are not that many people to hunt with, particularly at his level. So I do feel for him, but yeah. There's not much that can be done. I've got a charge on my Wyvern Fire. I will do that momentarily. I'm just going to find the right opportunity to do that. Where's my wine? I have some, but I'm not going to be drinking today. Mainly because I want to save my wine. Don't want to spend too much money on wine. I've just spent a lot of money on a fucking capture card. I don't need to be buying like 50 bottles of wine a week. Whiskey is my favourite alcoholic beverage, personally. But anyway. Limping away. Also very much like rum, brandy. Not all rum. Some rum is a bit too sweet, but rum, brandy. I'm not a huge fan of wine in general, but if it's fortified wine like port or muscat, stuff like that, like I'm fine with it. I enjoy sake as well. I know sake is a very generic term, but I haven't really explored the realm of sake enough to know what types of sake I enjoy. All I know is that I prefer to drink it cold to room temperature, not warm. Oh. So let's try and get this Wyvern Fire out. I think again, there's no burning effect, so I don't know if I missed that or not. Now I will mention that I can't cause him to fail the fishing animation, by hitting the monster. However, I can cause him to fail by hitting him, as we found out with food stuff. Good hunt. I hope that guy understood what I was saying when I was typing to him. I think he's fine with English, but maybe not. No, I didn't feel drunk. I'm not concerned with that. If I was worried about being drunk, I wouldn't be drinking fortified wine, put it that way. But, yeah, I just don't want to... You have to understand, I drink most days of the week. It's good to have a day where I'm not drinking, that's what I'm trying to say. Well, it's not like I usually drink most days of the week, but because I'm inside, you know, with the whole virus lockdown and all of that. Not that we're actually in lockdown, but, you know, I'm staying home. I'm home every day, so I'm drinking a lot. So, again, it's more important than ever to have days where you just don't. Back when I was actually doing things outside, I didn't feel the need to drink, but now I'm feeling the need to drink, I don't know. But, different lifestyles promote different, leisure activities, I suppose, and sitting at home is definitely, going to encourage one to drink. That's what I find. Anyway. So, hard bones. I don't know if I'm keeping Slogbone at 199 or what. Dazzling fluid. Oh, it's so dazzling. Hey Vernon, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. The most intoxicated I've ever been during a recording was the first live stream that I did for Wind Waker. So if you go to the playlist for Doomlink's live stream playthroughs, the first recording for Wind Waker, that was about a 3.5 hour long recording. I drank a 750ml bottle of an 8% alcohol ale, and then I had, I don't know how much port after that, but that was a deadly combination. Not because I felt, you know, it was very, there are different types of intoxication, and I find with beer, because you're putting a lot of liquid in your stomach, it sort of weighs on you, and it makes you very tired and very slow. So that, you know, I felt very slow in that recording, put it that way. I had to put a lot of thought into communicating, really. It was quite rough, but yeah, it was a good recording. But like the last hour, I was like, ugh. I was like, That's basically what you'd get if a fucking Snorlax was talking to you. That was me. But, anyway. What's the monster again? Why do I keep checking the monster but I don't internalize what it is? It's because I'm too busy talking. What was it? Doomlink. What was it? Okay, looks like I have to check again. Can someone translate what Altamar is saying to me? He's giving me a crying emote while speaking Spanish, so maybe it's important. Echolocation, there we go. So I need a fire weapon. Instead of remembering what monster it is, I should try to internalize the element that I need to bring. But then again, the monster does sometimes influence what weapon type I want to choose, so... What do I want? I don't really want to go gun lance again, you know. Let's go with lance. And I have two fire choices for lance. Either I can go with high element or less element. So I have the Maelstrom or the Nether Terracontia. I'll go, not with the Nether Terracontia. What are you talking about, mate? Soul Prominence is what we want. Okay. Why is Chuppy giving me an LOL? I've explained to him why we departed on the quest without him. He didn't even know we had departed on the quest without him. He might be a world player. He might have thought that he'd be able to join in progress. I don't know. Why are we doing this quest anyway? Why is it Hunter Rank 3? Anyway. It's very sad when the wine runs out. Okay. Well, the wine hasn't run out, incidentally, but... I just find it very bizarre that he understands what I'm saying, but he chooses to communicate in a language that I can't understand. But anyway. If you guys want, we can help. No, I don't want to help Chuppy. He's Hunter Rank 1. Like, I don't really want to do that. I am planning on boosting Ethan when all of this is over and he's got the finances to spend on a... By all of this, I mean the whole virus situation with everyone in lockdown. He's in the US, so he's a lot worse off than I am. Once he's got some cash flow again, we're going to get him the Wii U, a Wii U, and the game. And I will be leveling him up from Hunter Rank 1. So I don't really want to be boosting random people. Because boosting is a bit of a task. It does take some time. But food stuff kicked him, I think. So there you go. I guess we're going to be 3-manning. Moxie. Not that that's really necessary. Now, is there anything in my inventory that needs to be fixed? No, looks fine to me. Let's just 3-man this thing. Should be perfectly fine. So I'm probably going to do another 2 or 3 hunts, we'll see. I don't know what these hunts are going to translate into as far as time spent in the live stream, but yeah, probably another 2 or 3, including this one. Oh, just stretching a little bit. Holy fuck. But yeah, I'll be streaming quite a bit today, now that I think about it, because I'm going to be doing about 2 hours in this game, and I try to do long recordings with Ethan, like minimum 3 hours, so it's probably going to be a 4-hour long recording or so with Ethan tonight. Although, Ethan, I suppose we'll have to leave enough time to watch some Gundam tonight as well, so... By Gundam, I mean we are watching the original 1979 Gundam. I haven't touched the Gundam series at all, but I've always wanted to, and I always start chronologically. With anything, really, when it comes to listening to a band's music discography, when it comes to playing games in a series, when it comes to watching anime, I always go chronologically. I want to see what was first released. Not even, like, story-wise, chronologically. I mean, like, in terms of when it was released. Because I want the same experience as someone who had been following from the beginning, you know. Yeah, I'd like to watch Macross as well, or Macross. I don't really know how I want to pronounce that, but anyway. That's also something we need to watch. Or something that I would like to watch that I think you'd enjoy watching with me, but again, it's all a matter of finding a good opportunity to watch that sort of stuff, and it's a lot easier when you've got someone to watch it with. I do enjoy Glacial Agnoctor. There's something about his body, it's really satisfying to hit it. It looks like, oh, well, thank God for guard up. But, yeah, there's something about that body, it's really satisfying to hit it. It just looks really soft when you break the ice away. So it feels nice to hit it. I don't know if that makes any sense, or if you guys understand or agree with what I'm saying, but, yeah, there's something about it. Get that chest, which is the main damage point. Like, I don't know how the chest compares to the head in terms of damage, but I think they're about the same. The head might be a little bit more. You would think the head would be pretty good, because the head's kind of difficult to hit. Because he's a Leviathan monster, the chest is going to be a weak point. But with Laggy, he's quite resistant on his head. Well, not quite resistant, but it's definitely not his main weak point. But I wonder with Agnoctor, I just can't remember. I'm pretty sure that Agnoctor is reasonably weak on his head, as compared to Laggy. Laggy really doesn't take much damage from it, but I think Agnoctor does. But in terms of how it matches up to his chest weak point, I just don't know. Oh. Awesome. That is so good to hear, Vernon. Thank you for that. You've really saved me some time, Vernon, by letting me know. Vernon just told me in the chat that I don't need to bother with the Prowler quests for getting the Hayabusa Feather in Generations Ultimate. That is extremely important. I just would have assumed that that would be a requirement, but I'm so glad that it's not. Excuse me. But, yeah. There we go. I think that's all the breaks. I'm pretty sure that once you've knocked the ice off something, it has broken that piece of the monster. But yeah, Soul Prominence is my main Fire Lance at this stage. I just don't feel good when using the Maelstrom these days. I mean, it's got good sharpness in the sense that it's got purple, but it doesn't have much purple. And this has almost 100 inflated raw more than that weapon, so I really don't feel that the Maelstrom's worthwhile. But maybe I'll use it every now and again. Because I'm sure the purple sharpness helps to close the gap in damage, but it's not always going to be purple, because I only have a little bit of purple, right? God, they're obsessed with capturing monsters, I have to say. Yeah, I felt the same way, Vernon. I've said this before, but underwater combat was something that I disliked in Tri, because it wasn't comfortable, and I disliked it in this game as well. But as the Monster Hunters continued to release, and water combat didn't return, I actually developed a soft spot for underwater combat, and sort of missed it as well, so I sort of stopped missing it when I'm hunting underwater, I really do, because it's not comfortable. But I think it's nice. I think it's a nice thing that exists in the series. If I really had to choose, even though I find underwater combat to be uncomfortable, I think I'd prefer to have it than not, because it just feels natural for water combat to exist. But Capcom really obviously is not feeling it. It might return in the next game, but everything is pointing to the fact that it's not going to, because we haven't had it since 3rd gen. But, and it also didn't make a return in World, so, yeah, bizarre. Might return, might not. It's hard to know at this stage what the future of Monster Hunter even is. It's definitely a, there's a period of uncertainty, at least for me, so we will see what happens, but I will go and buy some cool drinks and hot drinks just to make sure that I'm topped up with those. I always keep antidotes on hand as well. Everyone has different ways in which they organize their inventories. Some people like to have exactly what they need for the quest, and they work on their inventory for each individual quest. I'm a bit too lazy for that. I just bring most of what I need for anything. So I always bring drinks, I always bring psychoserums, I always bring antidotes. And for some people, they don't like having those slots taken up. You guys post if you want. What do I need? I mean, Gory says you guys post if you want. The food stuff has been posting this entire fucking session that I've been hunting with him, but yeah, I don't know. Top up a psychoserum here, even though I've got 91 in the box, but thunderbugs. Might get some more thunderbugs, how about that? Just while they're on rotation and I'm taking notice. Tranquilizer? Can't I buy those normally? Maybe not. Farcaster, I have plenty of those. Got plenty of trap tools. Yeah, we're all looking good. Our food stuff says BRB. Just going to see what I need for weapon upgrades. Okay, so I need Hydrohide Plus, but that's a high rank thing, so that's not really going to help me here. But yeah, this is going to be my Water Pierce Bow, I think. No, Water Spread Bow, that's right. Because that's what it was for me in Portable Third, so it's probably what it's going to be in this game as well. Needless to say. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing next. I probably need stuff, but I'll save that for Hunting with Purpose, maybe. Hunting with Purpose in 3 Ultimate, that'd be pretty cool. Because I am, once again, working on some bow sets, so what would be interesting to do for the recording? I don't like those multi-monster quests, they don't really interest me at all. I enjoy Hallowed Gen because he exists only in this game, so I enjoy any opportunity to hunt him. But, yeah, let's do Hallowed Gen just for fun. Might do Hallowed. I did do Gen in the last recording, but I can never get enough of Gen. I just enjoy him. There's something about it. I've hunted so many Gen Moran. And I really do enjoy the process every time. Maybe I want to use the... do I have any other fire gun lances? I only have the Disuality. Seems like it. Yeah, I only have the Disuality. Which is probably fine, but... let's do that. We'll go Gunlance and use the Disuality. I don't usually use Gunlance with Gen Moran. Of course, Hallowed's weakness is fire, which makes him kind of interesting. Gory says sounds good. I have to say, despite the fact that Gory is a modder, he is a nice guy to hunt with. He's not... what are you doing, Food Stuff? Actually, can Food Stuff even join? Like, is it a HR 8 requirement? It might be. Yeah, it is. Is he? What? Yeah, he's Hunter rank 6. So I'm keeping my keyboard on my lap so I can just type nice and easily. If I leave it on the floor, again, I mentioned this in the previous recording, I don't really have anywhere to rest it other than my lap right now with my current setup, so it just has to live on my lap as I'm recording, which is kind of uncomfortable, but it's alright. Hope it's not too bright. Because I have no delay on my webcam when I'm recording with this, I can't really see what I look like front on, because when I turn to look, again, there's no delay, so I'm only seeing myself from the side, and my laptop screen is really shit for colours, so yeah. What are we gonna hunt then? Why is this guy still Hunter rank 6? Maybe we should do his key quests. I mean, there's nothing else to really do. I'm not going to be here long enough to do all of his key quests up until Hunter rank 8, you know. Raytheon's Wrath. There we go. I'm A-okay with some Raytheon. See, I don't know why Gory, being a modder, because he's got a modded talisman, right? Why he doesn't change sets. Like, how is it fun to just use a poison greatsword on literally everything you hunt? I don't understand that. It's bizarre to me. But, whatever. What do I want to use? Let's use Spread Dragon. So, Spread... and we'll equip the World Seer's Bounty. So this should be, yes, Spread level 4. Need to rank up. Can we just take a moment to appreciate? My Do Hallowed. Alright, sounds good. Actually, it's Hunter rank 8 requirement, so Food can't join. Guess we can do Food's keys. Then Food says, need to rank up. Like he hasn't read anything of what's been said so far. Whatever. I can only do so much. I can only do so much. I have to say, I mean, I've mentioned this a few times as well, I'm so happy that these servers are still up. It's just shocking. This game released in 2013, you know. They have continued for quite a while. I wasn't expecting them to go for so long, but I do think part of it is Capcom's recent financial success. I do believe that they would have closed these servers had World bombed in the West, which it was not going to. That was never on the cards, but let's say, hypothetically, that did happen. Yes, I think these servers would have shut down. Because then at that point, they would be trying to recoup their losses. So, yeah. What better way to do it than close some servers that barely anyone's using, right? But they don't need to do that now. They're going to leave these servers open for these people to enjoy older Monster Hunter, which is really great. I don't know how long they're planning to keep them open for, and quite frankly, I don't really want to know. I just remember that from around 2017, every single year, including 2017, we were expecting that to be the final year of these servers to be running. 2017 would be the final year, no. Then we thought, oh, World's coming out in 2018, that must be the final year, no. 2019, up for the whole year. Here we are in the year of 2020. You know, had you told me that the servers would still be up in the year of 2020 back in 2017, I would have been pretty shocked. I would have thought, shit, I thought they were closing any time now. But no, that's not what's happening. So I'm really happy that they're still up. Because I can continue my stationary console Monster Hunter experience. That's the big thing. There is no proper stationary console Monster Hunter experience. You can maybe say that Generations Ultimate is, but I can't free type in a hunt. That's really big for me. That ability to have full communication in a hunt is so important. And this might be a port that we're playing right now, but at least it's got the same online communication that Tri had, which wasn't a port. Generations Ultimate being a port is technically lazier because they have the same 3DS level fucking communication. I mean, technically you can put in a USB keyboard and type there, but it's not the same. You actually need to press a button to instigate typing here, start typing on the keyboard, and you're typing. It's done. It's really great. It's not like that in Generations Ultimate. You need to hit a button first. Kind of annoying. Not as smooth. And then you also can't type in a hunt, so it's really dumb. I'm not into it at all. I mean, I was ranting about it when Generations Ultimate came out. I was expressing my extreme disappointment when I was doing my first recording for the game. But, excuse me. But yeah, just a bit of a shame, that's all. Yeah, Spread Bow is definitely my favourite. Pierce Bow's really good with the right monster, but Spread Bow's so fun. Just look at this. Yeah, let's not manually do that. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, we don't have to worry about stamina skills because we do have... Well, not stamina skills, sorry. We don't have to worry about stamina recovery items such as dash juice because we do have a stamina skill. We have stamina recovery speed up. You can see how quickly our stamina returns. Now, how that differs from Marathon Runner is that we can't necessarily charge forever like you can with Marathon Runner, but you're going to get most of your stamina back just by letting go of the arrow, loosing the arrow, and then drawing it back. That single animation is going to get most of your stamina back because of how fast it recovers. So, that's pretty cool. So we've got Galathea joining the room. And if they're even the least bit patient, I'd like to think that they will wait for us to return. Well, not that they know that we're doing a single Raytheon, which is going to be killed quite quickly, but yeah. Got hit with wind pressure there. But yeah, of course, all the monsters are getting poisoned very quickly because of Gory's lordly death cap. I don't know, had a fucking mental blank there for a moment. So yes, the fact that this bow doesn't have power coatings can be viewed as an issue, but I do think the bow is good enough that it doesn't require it, you know. It's very, very nice to see critical attacks on a spread bow as well. It's really, it's refreshing. It's satisfying. More like, not refreshing. I guess, satisfaction and refreshment are not too far from each other in terms of the feeling of the emotion, but still, I think satisfaction would be the more appropriate term to use. I think that was a rapid shot that I just fired, because I couldn't get the full charge off, basically. We'll do an arc shot. Only got a few of those out. It's a very wide arc shot, you can see. Check that out. But I believe that that does fuck up your teammates as well. That's one of the reasons why I don't arc shot. It rains down on the team and it flinches everyone. Especially with that very wide area of effect. Why do you put a trap now when we're at risk of having the monster leave the area? Whatever. Let's try and get it in here as soon as possible. Delaying your trap placement is not ideal. Come on, Raytheon, don't leave the area, please. Thank you. It can happen very easily at this stage in the hunt. Look how small the bar is there. For lack of a better term. I guess there has to be a better term for that, not just bar. See, look at this. This is what happens when you fucking delay placing the trap. You either place it down quickly, or you wait for them to zone first, and then you place it down. The only reason why you would do what Foodstuff just did would be if the monster is exhausted, and you really want to try and get that exhaust opportunity before the monster stops being exhausted. So even though there's a risk of the monster zoning, you try it anyway. But there was absolutely no reason to do that this time. It's just, you know, people don't have the common sense. To me, like, that's not game sense, it's common sense. It's like, just think about it a little bit and you'll work out that it's actually not ideal. So, hello, Stev. So just being able to say hi to people in the quest, I mean, it's just different, you know. Everything's different in this era of Monster Hunter, and I do miss it. And I do love 3rd generation bow. It's my favourite generation for bow. 2nd favourite is actually 2nd gen. Oh. I'm not going to heal, actually. I'm going to try and kill this thing. One of our first successful kills, because we've been capturing in every fucking hunt for literally no reason. For literally no reason! Stop placing traps in places where the monster's not going to end up in the fucking trap, please. Kill it, kill it, kill it. Come on! Oh, we might do it. Oh my god, she must be so close. It's unbelievable that we didn't manage to do that. Whatever, whatever. Alright, so I'm assuming... I don't even... Oh, she's going that way? What? I guess she goes to the cave? Okay. I wasn't watching the shadow, I probably should have. I didn't think she was going to go in this direction, but... Makes sense if she's heading for the cave, but I mean, this has to be rough. She's at risk of death at this stage. Well, not at risk. She is literally on the edge of dying, and she wants to continue fighting in a hot area, which I'm sure is going to put strain on her. She's not a Rathalos. Although I have seen her in the lava areas, I think, so... in other games, at least. Older games. But, yeah, you'd think that being in the desert would be more straining on a dragon. Especially when it's almost dead, but anyway. She decided to make life a little bit harder for herself. 2 traps on the map, as you can see. It's not hard. Like, trapping is not hard, okay? But obviously it is when you struggle with common sense. What I do like is that you can see the arm of this particular armor piece. It perfectly matches this bow, because it's actually from the same set, the Gen set. So that the arm shield just works perfectly with that bow. It's got the same symbol and it's like the same color. It's really cool. Not intentional, of course. I was going for skills, not for fashion. But anyway. Alright, that was a gold crown small. Awesome. Hello, Libya. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to do one more hunt, and then we'll finish up. I was expecting that hunt to take a little bit less time, but it's alright. And we will sell these conflagrant sacks. Here we go. So in terms of the number of slots you have in here will change every single time you change an armor set, because behind the scenes the decorations are being swapped through the armor pieces. Well, not all the time, does depend on the set, I suppose, and what decorations you've put in, but oftentimes choosing an armor set will influence the decorations that are being placed in this box, so you can have more or less slots depending on the armor set that you've chosen, but yeah. As long as we've got roughly that number of free slots available, should be fine. Alright. So Stev is also Hunter rank 6, I think. No, he's Hunter rank 7. He's 1 level higher than Foodstuff. So again, one more hunt. Should be something quick, because I think Foodstuff is doing his key quests at the moment. I don't know what he was doing before, but whatever. Oh. Just stretching a bit. Looking forward to some food. Huh. Who's posting a quest? Says Gory. I don't know. Probably Foodstuff. I'm A-okay with whatever. Whoa. Come on, guys, it's the last hunt. Don't drag it on too much. Me plus. Yeah, just go for it then. He's probably setting up for something. I do like the Crimson Kurapeko armor. I've always enjoyed the Kurapeko armor set, but the colors of the Crimson Peko set are pretty cool. It's that orange and the blue. A little bit of green as well, I think. Or no. I thought I was seeing that on the shoulder, but not really. Oh, it's sort of a greenish blue there. But I do like those colors. Alright, what are we doing now? I will try to bow it, if it's something that I have a usable bow to try it on it. Try out on it. Speak English, Doomlink. La la la. Island Warfare. Huh. Well, I'm going to definitely go with a weapon for that. I'll go with Thunder so that I can be elementally appropriate for the Plesioth. Fireworks too, because that will be elementally appropriate for the Jaggies, but it's Great Jaggy. You don't really need to be elementally appropriate for them. I generally am, but I will go with Thunder indeed. This is on the deserted island, so we will end up fighting the Plesioth underwater, probably. It's not necessarily a requirement, but yeah. How about we go with Sword and Shield for a change? I've not been using Sword and Shield, even though that's my favourite weapon type. If we look at the guild card, you'll see why. It's because I don't really want to overuse it. It's by a considerable margin my most used weapon. That's why I'm not really using it too much. I kind of want to break from it, but whatever. I will use it now. Go with Element. By Element, I mean Element Attack up. Go with the Nether Maestral, which looks really cool, by the way. Very cool design. One of my favourite Sword and Shield designs in the series. In fact, a lot of the designs of the Nether weapons are my favourite designs in the series for specific weapon types. For example, the Sword and Shield looks amazing. The Lance looks amazing. I think the guns look really cool as well. The bow is really nice. I find the Switch Axe to look really boring, but the dual blades look really cool. Yeah, I just love the Nether designs. I think they're, for an endgame lightning weapon, doesn't get better than Nether, that's for sure. Certainly beats the pants off Zinogre, in my opinion anyway. I don't really like the designs of Zinogre weapons. They're just really boring to me. They don't excite me. That's just my opinion. But I think everyone would agree at the very least that Nether weapons are the coolest. I mean, look at that shit. And only in this game. Not in Portable Third or Try. But yeah, Thunder weapons should do plenty of damage to a Great Jaggy. I don't know where the other one is, maybe in Area 6, but we can see that one of them is in Area 5. Maybe Foodstuff is heading for the other one. I don't know. Must be in Area 3 then. Unfortunately, we are going to be in the laggy Area 5. That's alright. See this jump forward attack? That's why I love 3rd generation Sword and Shield. Just that beautiful jump forward. You've got that verticality, you've got that distance. It just feels smooth. It doesn't feel like this weird slide forward attack. I hate the slide forward of 4th gen Sword and Shield. Doesn't feel right to me. This, however, is just absolutely beautiful. Just the mobility, the smoothness. Smooth as a baby's backside, I can tell you that much. Okay, this is getting slightly repetitive, getting flinched by this Switch Axe. He didn't end up needing to change his weapon, actually. Well, I like what you were trying to do there, Gory, but kind of unnecessary. Oh, that worked in the end, actually. It's difficult to get a full combo out because I end up moving a little bit too much. And this monster's fucking tiny. So Stev is chasing the other one, which is good. Go. 2 monsters left. This one's about to die, I think. Although I've got 2 fucking combo greatsworders. This is why we're doing so poorly. Because they're both using status greatsword. Imagine 2 status greatswords. Woe is me. Talk about flushing your damage down the toilet. But anyway, I still haven't established, and I probably never will establish, whether or not the blast damage of a combo greatsword, or the slime damage, if we want to call it that, is going to work out, you know. Is it better to just use a non-slime charge greatsword, or combo slime greatsword? Like, is the damage similar? Is one considerably better than the other? I don't know. But anyway, I think the comparison would be a greatsword of the same attack value, but one has poison, one doesn't. Not poison, sorry. Oh, he's going to fish it out. Yeah, go for it, Gory. I was going to go and grab a frog myself, but... So, yeah, what I was trying to say was that one has slime, one doesn't. And you test the effectiveness based on combo and charge. Charge for the non-slime, combo for the slime. And see which one does more damage overall. These guys must be having a real problem getting frogs. Stev is still gathering. You can relax. Gory's got one, man. Okay, let's put down a pitfall about here. If he doesn't end up in this trap, that's alright. Because it's kind of better to take advantage of the flopping animation of the monster as he jumps out anyway. But I like to put the trap down because it feels like we're preparing for it so much more. But in reality, it's better to let him flop for a while and then trap, so you get the full vulnerability. So I think Plesioth's over there. Make sure no one jumps in the water. What have we got there? Are you really fishing with a... Pretty sure you need a frog, man. Jesus Christ. I was wondering, what the fuck is that in the water? And it's a bunch of fish because he's using a worm. Here we go, I've got a frog now. What a silly individual. Imagine fishing with a worm. Unfucking believable, man. Leave it to me. Notice the frog. Gory, what are you doing, man? Jesus Christ. Why is he so clueless? He's gonna fuck this up. What is he doing? He's in the other area. Oh, well, yeah, because you took half a fucking hour. Oh, Christ. Imagine using a fucking worm to catch a Plesioth. Beggar's belief. A worm. Holy hell. Now we have to fight the thing underwater. That's not fun. It's very important to, Oh, he's back. Well, we fucked it up now, because food stuff is swimming towards the thing. I want to fight it underwater with a greatsword. Yeah, enjoy, mate. Enjoy. Fucking enjoy. I swear to God. Anyway. I just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the guy is fishing. He's got the worm and he's got fish there. And he's waiting for the Plesioth to bite. Like, to start with, you're fishing the fish out, not the Plesioth, because you've got the fish there, right? Second of all, why is a Plesioth going to go after a single tiny worm in the water? Like, what? It's a frog because it makes sense. Well, I'm glad he ended up on land anyway. But Jesus Christ. It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, let's get him in this pitfall before it disappears. Christ, oh, fucking bike, man. Come on, Plesioth, don't be shy. Get in that trap. He's a bit nasty because he's, when he turns around with that tail more than anything, he's kind of difficult to deal with. So it's good to get him in a trap as well. But I'd sooner have him non-trapped on land than allow him to swim in the water and hunt him there, because it's terrible, I can assure you. Oh, I can't believe what I just saw. Fishing a Plesioth with a worm. That's one for the archives, you know. I will actually highlight that in Twitch. That's just too funny. It's incredible. Anyway. I mean, anyway, I'll get over it eventually. Maybe some of you don't see the humor and the unbelievableness of it. But yeah, it's quite. I really should avoid using stupid words like unbelievableness. I put emphasis on it to make it clear that I know it's not a word, but I shouldn't use it even in doing that, or even doing that. All right. But that was insane. Regardless. I guess they were really unlucky it didn't get a frog there, but you know, what the fuck was he fishing with then? Because I'm pretty sure in this game you don't need a worm to fish, you automatically have a thing to fish. Like, thought I had a frog, lol. The frog, I mean, he probably knows this already, but as of this experience, he's learnt now. Doesn't attract fish. And I need to fix that. The frog doesn't attract fish, it attracts big monsters. But anyway. Imagine, I mean, the reason why it's a frog is because it's a large thing. It's clearly designed to catch a large monster, but why is a worm going to catch a plesiosauur? Like, look at its mouth. Is it gonna sees one worm in the water, this giant plesiosauur with this giant mouth, clearly eating big ass things. It's gonna go after this little worm. It's really funny. Okay, in fairness, he says that he thought he had a frog. My response to that would be, there was no frog on your line. Like, if you have a frog, you can visually see that there is literally a floating frog in the water. If there is not a floating frog in the water, it means you probably don't have a frog. I was confused. I was like, I saw these fish gathering around his thing, and I'm like, what's going on there? And then I saw he didn't even have a frog. That was quite an experience. What a nice hunt to finish up on. But, anyway. I thank you all for watching. This has been Doomlink's Live Hunts. In 3 Ultimate. Thanks for hunting. Just gonna dip from this room. As they say, dip is still a hip term, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I will be streaming in the next hour and a half to 2 hours from now. We will be in Generations Ultimate in the Hunting with Purpose series. I'll be with Ethan, and I think we're going to be working on gun lancers for him in G-Rank, most likely. If not, then it'll be something similar, probably. Do you have a gun lance set yet, Ethan? We'll work that out anyway when we're actually live, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm very happy to be able to record more 3 Ultimate these days. Again, before I was always concerned by the fact that the video would always fuck up, but I don't really have that problem now, which is great. But yeah, I'll see you in about an hour and a half to 2 hours in Generations Ultimate. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.